Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'm here today in Magdalen Cemetery here in Naas, County Kildare. We have the Montgomery Pyramid Mausoleum. So in 2019, these mausoleums were extremely overgrown and not in great shape. So it was the Follies Trust who decided to come in here and really clean the place up, take all the old ivy off the mausoleums. So we've seen a couple of pyramid mausoleums on my journeys before, and this one is interesting. We can see the entranceway into it there. So that is the new door that was put on the entrance there. The old one would have been very rusty and old and, rotted. So that is the newer one. This is the final resting place of Elizabeth Burgh, who interred into rest in 1876, aged 84 years old. I just want to take you over to the other mausoleum, and this was constructed in the 1800s, I think 1843. I'm sure it's that date. If it's not, I'll put it on the video. But this is the Pyramid Mausoleum, the final resting place here of the de Burgh family. So interred in here is Walter de Burgh and his wife Elizabeth. So he had this constructed, and a lot of these people would have been adventurers, travelers who traveled around and probably went to Egypt, and they see the Egyptian pyramids and decided that when their time comes, they want to be buried in something very, very elaborate, just like the kings in Egypt, Tutankhamun, etc. So that is the new door that's there on that. So there is a key for this. I'm sure the people in the Follies Trust have the key to this door, and I would love to go down and have a look in there. Absolutely. So we have the coat of arms or crest up here, and looks like to me it's a cat that's up there. This part is danger, keep clear. They have a fence around it. So I don't know what actually was in this area. We can see some brickwork on it there, and a very large hole. So I'm presuming it was a burial vault that collapsed. And there is some bits of stone there, like it was like a tomb of some sort that collapsed in there. All that red brick. And just here we have a crypt. We can see the door entrance below. So we'll go around and see the other side of this pyramid mausoleum. So there is an inscription just in the center of it there. It says, "Sacred to the memory of Elizabeth de Burgh." So that's what I was saying earlier. She is interred in there with her husband, Walter. And just near the mausoleum then we have the family plot of other members of the de Burgh family. So this is in love and memory of Amy Florence, wife of Edward J. de Burgh. And she passed away on the 4th of April 1935. And Edward died in 1986. So they would be all buried outside the mausoleum. Only a certain amount of family members would be in the pyramid one. And I'm sure all those pyramid mausoleums would hold a lot of coffins down there. Could hold up to maybe 15, 20. So this huge plot is the family plot here as well of the de Burgh family. There's many graves in there. So in this cemetery here in Naas, there is a story that a guy with the surname Moorhead, he was the governor of Naas jail, and apparently his body was stolen here by grave robbers. And then you have another guy who's buried in here, and I don't know if I'll find his grave, but he liked to party a lot and drink lots of rum. And he was called Copperface Jack. And there is a nightclub in Dublin called Copperface Jack, so that's where that name came from. And his old residence would be there. So this is to the memory of William Hargrave, Esquire, in the city of Dublin, fellow and ex-president of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland, who died on the 24th of November 1874, aged 79 years old. A beautiful angel statue. And this is a memory of Gladys Mary, the dearly loved and only daughter of Colonel Patterson, who died at Naas Barracks on the 19th of September 1902. So she was an only daughter, so her father was a colonel, and I presume they were all living in the barracks at the time. And it doesn't really say what she died from, but I'm presuming it could be cholera or TB, maybe, or something like that, or some form of illness. But a beautiful statue and very realistic looking as well when you look at the face on it. So we have some evidence here of the storm we had. Little bits of trees are falling. That very dangerous storm that has passed. And just in there is the newer section of the cemetery. So there's newer burials there. Right, so I'm going to take you back over and show you there's a very mysterious looking area over here with wrought iron railing going around it. And it looks like it could be some form of a vault or crypt. And this is the gateway inside. So we do see an entrance there with all the ivy kind of camouflaged inside. Look at that. And just down the bottom, I don't know what that is. Is this maybe a piece of stone, or actually looks like a skull? I don't know. But I will get down there and have a closer look. In a couple of minutes, we'll go down and have a closer inspection. But there is a plaque over the door, so it says the vault was constructed by John the Fourth, John Burgh, 4th Earl of Mayo. The remains of the family of the Burkes, 1845, it says on the plaque. Right, so we're just up outside here, and that is the roof of the vault of the Burke family. So John Burke was the 4th Earl of Mayo, and it was a title they held. You know, they owned a lot of land. He owned a Palmerstown house, which had over 900 acres of land. And the reason for a lot of his wealth would have been he married a woman, I think, called Arabella, her name was, and she was an heiress. So that's where the money came from. He married into money there. Right, guys, so what do you think? We'll take a look, or maybe even go down in here and see what we can see. Oh, look at this. Actually, it doesn't smell too good down here. So that's a piece of stone. I actually thought it was a skull. And there is an old bar here. I don't know what that's off. Now, another story about this vault as well is um, a bier, what they used to use to transport coffins on. It was actually found just down the end of the entranceway here, just abandoned and thrown here. So maybe the last person that was interred in here was John, the 4th Earl, and they just left it there afterwards. But you can see there's a chain and a little lock on it connected to the door. So I'm going to have to try and look in and see in that area there. So there, guys, we can see 4 coffins there. There's one on the left as well. And just on the left-hand side, there's coffins just there. So I'm doing my best to get the best angle to show you. And that's what it looks like inside. It's actually looks in good nick there, that ceiling, the roof on it. Wow. So you can just see down the bottom all that debris. There's some bones there. And there is actually a better angle inside. And I'll try and zoom in. They're very colourful looking coffins. You can see that they all have different designs on them. Stud lined. But how interesting is that? But that's definitely bones on there. Looks like old bits of rubber as well. And there's another area to the back of that, so I don't know what's in there through that doorway. Possibly more interments in there. So just inside the door we can see a coffin. Very, very close to the door. You could almost touch it. Right, guys, so that is the old creepy crypt with all those vines hanging down over the entranceway. So let's go back out. Oh. Right, guys, so we're back out in the cemetery, and as I was saying, that is the entranceway, which has seen better days. And there's some of the old railing that goes around the burial area. There's fallen over as well. And while we're here, we'll read this one. This is erected to the memory of John Bob Goff, who died the 3rd of August 1866, age 54. Also of his wife Eleanor, and she passed away in 1867, age 49 years old. A huge burial plot there, really. Major Connor, Justice of the Peace, 1837. So it is quite hazardous, dangerous in places, because you have to watch really where you're going. So it says here, this ground was enclosed by Robert Stokes Hayes of Naas as a resting place for himself and family until the morning of the resurrection. For in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, the last trump for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. So this monument was also erected by him in affectionate remembrance of his sister Mary, who died in 1821, aged 21 years old. His father, James, died in 1830, age 54. And there's a number of family members. Nice urn on top. So there you go, guys. Just in the distance, the Burgh Pyramid Mausoleum. And across from them, we have the Montgomery one. So no expense was spared when they were building these. Money wasn't a problem to these people, and everybody has their own way, I suppose, of going out in debt, whatever plans they have. Some people like huge mausoleums, some people want simple burials, and so on, and that's the way it goes. And I do think a lot of it is, even in debt, these people wanted to have power, I suppose, in a way, wanted to kind of show off, even in debt. Like who has the biggest mausoleum, or showing off wealth as well. And in my personal opinion, those type of things don't matter. When you're dead, you're dead. You can't bring money with you. So on that note, guys, I am going to wrap the video up there. Thank you for walking with me today. If you like this video and you like this content, please hit that big subscribe button. Give the video a thumbs up. And I'll see you all on the next adventure.